Hi, my name's Nikki Disney and I'm a drama therapist and artist wellbeing practitioner who works across rehearsal rooms throughout the UK, supporting productions and individual artists to do their best work from a place of wellness. And today we're going to talk about how to regulate yourself in the rehearsal room. So why are we talking about performance regulation in the rehearsal room? Well, we know that stress is an embodied response. It can be triggered by what we think, but stress is something that definitely happens in our bodies. And it can be triggered by life events. It can be triggered by what's happening as we walk into the rehearsal room. It can also be triggered by where we are with the production, how much stresses and strains we have on delivery in the performance space. And it can also be triggered by what's happening in the scenes you're rehearsing over and over again. Because it's an embodied response, we might know that it's make-believe, we might know that it's pretend, but our bodies do not. And we often think about how we trigger our audiences, but how and when do we think about how we are triggering ourselves within the rehearsal room? So we're about ready for a bit of psychoeducation into how our stress responses work. And I want to share with you a model created by Dr. Dan Siegel in 1999 called the window of tolerance. So we all have stresses on a day-to-day basis, and if I've just been away on vacation, my window of tolerance tends to be pretty big. I feel relaxed, I feel regulated, I feel able. However, I might find that after 6 weeks of work, my window of tolerance starts to shrink, and then I get up late one morning, and then I miss the bus, and then I spill coffee over me, and then the bus, as it flies past me, splashes me with a puddle of water. And you can see that my stress responses and my ability to tolerate starts to shrink. And when it shrinks, we can kind of come out in one of two places. We can come out into a hyper-arousal space, and this is a hot red space, or if we've been in a place of hyper-arousal for a long time, of action, we can then slip into a hypo-arousal space, which is much slower and colder and stiller. So let's take a moment with hyper-arousal. So as I said, this is red, this is fast, this is hot. This is a place of anxiety. This is a place where we might move into fight or flight fear responses, and to add to that another F, which is fawn response, where we might go into external people pleasing mode or making sure that everybody's okay all of the time. So we want to kind of think about actually what happens in these spaces, and it might be that this is because of what's happening in life. We might find that our stress responses and our actions, we want to make something different and we want to activate ourselves, is because of what's happening externally, but it also might be happening in the rehearsal room because we're overdoing a scene over and over again, which is very, very fast. And as you can see, I'm starting to pick up my shoulders, my words are becoming faster, I'm losing my ability to talk in a straight line. So we want to kind of come down from that space. And what we're going to do is we're going to trick the muscles into relaxing by doing some paced muscle relaxation. So if you clench your fists and hold your arms into the side of your body, we're going to hold that in a hyperextended place for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And now take a breath, inhaling deeply, exhaling. And you can repeat that 3 or 4 times. You should find that the breath comes easier, and you can see that we've moved from that space of action into a space of relaxation, of rest and digest. So now we're going to move to the hyper-arousal, and as you can see from my speech, this is a place that's much slower. It's a place where we haven't got the energy to move. It's a place in a stress response of flop and freeze. It's a place that we can go to if we've been in high hyper-arousal for a long time, because our bodies will often just turn off. It can just be too much. It's also the place that we might go to if we've been in a scene that's quite depressive or slow for a long period of time. And what we need to do is we need to energize the body, we need to wake up the body. So the tool I'm going to show you now is literally just a shake that you might have done in drama groups before. We're going to take our right hand and shake it 7 times, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel free to bring your legs in if you do this in the rehearsal room. As I'm sitting, we're just going to use our arms. So right arm, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1. Ah! And we should notice our fingers begin to tingle. We've got the energy starting to move through our body. We're awakening our nervous system to try and pull us up from that place of hyperarousal into that window of tolerance once again. So we're taking a moment to think about how do we integrate this practice into the rehearsal room. And it's really nice as we're going into a space to check in with ourselves. How am I in this moment? What am I bringing into the rehearsal room? What is my stress response at the moment? And what do I need to be able to enter this place in a space of regulation? And we can do that individually by taking a breath. But we also choose to do that with a partner or a peer and just take a moment to check in and say, how are you? What's going on? Your group leader or director might also take the opportunity to do a group check-in. And it's really nice to be able to do that at the end and check out with yourself. What have I picked up over the course of this rehearsal period that is going to stay with me? What do I need to let go of? Have I moved into a more hypoarousal space or hyperarousal space because of the scenes we've been doing? And how can I bring myself back down into a space of regulation? There are so many ways that you can learn to regulate yourself and bring yourself back into your window of tolerance. So go out there and explore and find things that work for you. And I've also linked to a few extra reading resources that you might find helpful.